guys ready for your first quiz? Of course you are. Okay, so this is not going to involve any writing, so you don't need any paper, you don't need any pens. Okay, I'm going to throw a list of questions up on the screen. I want you to turn to the person next to you, introduce yourself if you don't know them, and then start going over those things. Simultaneously, I'm going to throw a balloon in the air. Okay, and your goal is to make sure it doesn't touch the ground. Touch the ground, you get F. Go. Start talking. Socializing. This is question. Why was it that the first thing you did in my class is talk to each other? I haven't introduced myself yet. So why? Why would I have you talking to each other for the first 5 minutes?
Becoming a work with together.
Work with each other. What else? I heard more in there.
As they get comfortable with your peers.
This is physics. Right? Okay? We're not supposed to talk to each other, right? I mean, you went into engineering and science-related fields because you didn't like people, right? Okay, so do you think working together might be a good idea?
Solve a problem.
Probably. It's the only way you can survive in this class, guaranteed, right? That's a good reason, but it's not the reason. Because one of the worst things you should ever do in teaching, you should never fish for an answer, right? I'm fishing for the answer right now, right? So why? Why would I have you talking to each other for the first 5 minutes?
Break the ice.
Break the ice, right? Again, we're back to that social awkwardness of STEM fields, right? We're all nerds in here, okay? How do you know when an engineer is interested in you? They look at your shoes instead of theirs. Right? So, yeah, okay, fine, break the ice. Maybe social media has made it hard for us to talk to faces, right? So maybe that's important. But again, it's a good side effect, but it's not the reason. Don't be afraid of being wrong. Shout it out. Any other reasons?
You forgot what we're supposed to go.
Yeah, I'm actually an English teacher. And, I have no idea. Yeah, I forgot all my notes. I'm just killing time. Right? No, I'm not killing time. Time is precious in here. There's a very, very good reason.
What's the question again?
What?
What was the question again?
Oh, the question is, why did I have you talk to each other for the first 5 minutes? No? Yeah, go.
Is it to wake us up?
It's 8 o'clock in the morning, right? Okay, and I'm about to throw a bunch of calculus and stuff at you, and I need you awake. No, I've got drugs for that. If I need old chemicals in there. So yeah, get you awake, all that kind of stuff. You're orbiting, but you're not landing.
Communication skills.
Yeah, again, STEM fields, communication. Yeah. We use math to communicate.
Engineering as a field kind of like requires you to work with others.
Okay, engineering requires you to work with others, so I've got to force you into social engagements, right? Okay, we've got lab for that, right? We'll put you into lab groups, and it'll be a little like the Hunger Games. No, it won't be anyway. So, how many of you have ever had a class where you walk in and the teacher tells you, for like 50 minutes to an hour, tells you how interactive their class is going to be, and never once interacts with you? Been there? Done that? Right? I have an active learning environment in here. You don't do any active anything. Your brain is shut off. Right? Okay? The first thing you did in my class was what? Talk to each other. So when I tell you that you're going to be talking to each other a lot, do you maybe believe me?
Yes.
Just a little bit. I'll say anything to get an A, Mr. Beasley. The first memory is you talking to each other. So now the next time, if I say, okay, now turn to each other and do this thing, 2 favorite places to look for partners, right? Right? Okay, they're not found that way, they're found that way, right? So you'll be able to turn to each other, you know I'm serious, you talk to each other. So why do I want you talking to each other? In lecture of all places, right? I'm supposed to come in and have a conversation with the board. Right? Right? I'm supposed to come in, put a bunch of math, talk to the board for 50 minutes, right? And then somebody just might get the courage to raise their hand to ask a question, and I'll turn around in shock that anybody is still here. I can tell by some of the laughs that you've had classes like this, right? Where the teacher treats you like the thing they found on the bottom of their shoe this morning, right? Like, that's not my class. So why do I want you talking to each other in lecture?
Just to exchange like knowledge and be comfortable and just in general learn from each other.
Comfortable. I need you to be comfortable because physics is one of the most uncomfortable subjects ever devised by human beings. Comfort is going to not happen. We've got math in here. Nobody's comfortable with math, right? Except the 2 math majors that I've got. You said knowledge. How do you know when you know something?
When you could teach it to someone else?
Don't panic. I'm never going to ask you to come up here and teach anything, okay? But I am going to ask you time and again, turn to each other, do this thing, explain this, and I want you teaching each other. If you turn to them and you open your mouth and nothing comes out, what do you know? That you don't know it. And that's the beginning of wisdom. That's the beginning. You start there. I have no idea what's going on, but by golly, I'm going to find out. If you turn to them and you open your mouth and the Nobel Prize winning whatever comes out, then you know you've been possessed by the devil and you should, no. Now you know. Now you know that you know something, right? You could put it in words so that another human being can understand. You now know something. That's important. Working on your homework, working in here, working in lab, talking to each other, teaching each other, taking advantage of explaining what it is I did. Not just hand them this, look at my work, but tell them what you did. You are going to learn even more. And it's vitally important. Vitally important in any subject, especially this one. My name is Mr. Balogh. Right? Okay? And what we're going to do today is we're gonna do some I'm gonna call them ritualistic things that always have to be done on the first day, because if you don't do them, students get nervous. Things like take roll, right? Okay. I do all of the official roll stuff on Thursday. That first lab day, that's where I'm gonna do all the ads. That's where I'm gonna do all the drops. It's one day, right? Okay. So today, I'll read your name out just so you can feel comfortable and know that my records match your records or whatever, right? Okay? But we'll get to that. We'll talk a little bit about, I'm not going to go over the syllabus. Going over the syllabus on the first day is like the worst buzzkill ever. So Thursday's going to be a big day. Big day. It's lab day, and we've got time to kind of get into stuff and really get into the nitty-gritties of how the course works. So you're going to be a little bit lost today and Wednesday. It's okay. I'll try to guide you. All right. So where were you born? Shout it out. LA, Fresno, Bakersfield. Chile. Fresno. Chile's our furthest. Iran. Nice. Armenia? This isn't a contest, we're not trying to find out. Jordan?
He said Pakistan.
Pakistan? Oh my gosh. I love Fresno City College. So cool. So many. Anything? Oh wow, it's just, I love it, I love it. What's your favorite thing to do?
Physics.
That's a lot. Are you a physics major?
No, I'm
Okay, then you're lying. Okay. So, no, you're lying. What else? Favorite thing to do?
Sleep. Video games.
Sleep. Video games. What are you playing?
A lot of free-to-play games.
Yeah. I Diablo 4 right now. Path of Exile, now Diablo 4, and then I'll go back to be like the ARPGs and just kind of cycle through. Right? Okay. If I'm not doing that, then I'm in Flight Simulator. I got a whole home cockpit, got VR, got the whole. I can't afford to fly, but I can't afford that, so that's what I do. Right? Yeah, love video games. What else?
Trail running.
Trail running. I ran a 10K last February. I don't ever want to run again. This body was not built for running. It was built for eating.
Let's see, run to eat.
You run to eat?
Yes.
We need to talk. I'm worried about your mental state. No, my sister's a runner, and I don't understand it either. That whole runner's high thing, I get runner's low. What else? Trail running's awesome. I love hiking.
Chess.
Chess. Don't ask me to play chess. You'll win. Maybe so. If you want to feel good about yourself and you want to completely destroy something. I do have a collection of 120-ish board games at home. Not a single one of them is chess. Anything else? No musicians?
Travel.
Yeah? Dancers? Travel? Excellent. YouTubers? Yeah? Excellent. Excellent. It's fantastic. Okay, let's get down to it. Your favorite place to eat in Fresno? This cannot be your mother or your grandmother's house. I'm not allowed to go there. Favorite place to eat in Fresno? Heirloom. Went to Heirloom this weekend. I still don't like Heirloom. My wife loves it, and I don't know. I don't get it.
What did you get there?
So this time I got the Mediterranean chicken with the mixed green sides, and I don't remember what the other side was. My beef with Heirloom is that I pay X amount of dollars and I get something like this, right? Now, I think Heirloom's food is good, if not just on the too sweet side. Okay? But I like vinegar on everything, so, you know, maybe that's just me. My wife really likes it, but this bang for buck Heirloom doesn't do it for me. But it is, I think it's a good spot. Yeah.
House of Grill?
Doghouse Grill? I haven't been there in a while. Okay, where else? You know what? I like In-N-Out. My body doesn't like In-N-Out. Don't get old. It's not a threat. But yeah, no, mouth likes In-N-Out. Everything else. Okay, so Doghouse. Where else?
Sam's Deli?
Sam's Deli is one of the best places in the universe.
They're opening a second location.
I know. Closer to my house. I've been thinking. Oh, yeah, no, Sam's Deli. Oh, that's so good. All right, where else?
More Than Pizza.
Don't know that one.
Anesso.
More Than Pizza. Anesso. That's like near the Trader Joe's up there, isn't it? Why am I writing these down?
Because you're gonna go
So
there.
you're gonna try this?
I need date ideas, my wife. So I need you to make me look good. Seriously, I've done this every semester since I started, and I come home now, and no longer is it, are you okay? Did they hurt you? How did your first day go? It's, what did they tell you? Where are we gonna eat? First question out of her mouth, right? Okay, so you need to really help, you need to make me look good, so where else? Spaghetti Factory? Oh, okay, so, I have Italian roots, and no Italian restaurant has ever impressed me.
Oh, Prisma.
Saison.
Ooh, what's that? Where is that?
In Clovis.
Clovis, okay, Saigon, spelled like the country?
Saison.
No, the city? What is it?
Saison.
Yeah, okay.
With a Z.
With a Z?
Starts with an S.
Yeah, S-A-I-G-O-N?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Ducey's.
What?
Ducey's. It's in downtown Fresno.
Juicy's?
Yeah. My parents go there and they bring back food for us, like little baby birds.
Right, yeah, looks good.
There's an Italian place there.
Yeah.
I don't know. They just have a really good Philly cheesesteak, and we just keep getting it. I don't really know.
Okay,
what
my
it is.
wife loves, we went all the way to Philadelphia one year.
For a Philly cheesesteak.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
I guess that's the first spot you guys go tonight. Sure, that food cheese.
Okay, so we're still looking. Okay. Why are you here?
Just ready.
What?
The best bacon food.
You know, no.
You have to be.
Right, okay? Somebody somewhere said if you wanna grow up, you have to do this class. Right? You've got a hoop that you gotta jump through for your major. Okay? What are your majors? Shout them out. Mechanical engineering, bio, electrical, civil engineering, architecture, aerospace.
Business.
Did I hear math? Yeah, few math, I'm sorry. There's gonna be a lot of mathematicians here.
I'm one of that, so.
Yeah. Yeah, no English majors. Shocking. Chemistry? Yeah, okay. Chemical engineering? Related? No? Good, I can make jokes about chemical engineering. Good, alright. What are your future professional plans? Education, profession, what are you gonna do? Make money.
Design car parts.
Design what?
Car parts.
Yeah.
At F1 pretty.
one.
Industrial automation.
Uh-huh.
Aerospace.
Aerospace.
Biotech.
Uh-huh. Now, is anybody going to grad school? Talk to me about that right now, Mr. Bailey. Yeah, okay, so some, right, are gonna get one degree and turn around and go after the next, right? Most of you are probably gonna go into career-related fields. Med school, anybody? Sort of that, yeah, okay. So, this is your place. And in a lot of ways, this is the class that, unfortunately, you kind of have to prove yourself in, right? Okay? Now, is the light blinking, or am I having a... Yeah, okay, it's blinking. All right. So yeah, that's really good. Something that's happened in a class that you like, that it helped you. You really liked it. Something you saw a teacher do.
Comfortable environment.
Comfortable environment. Goes a long way, doesn't it?
Online lecture videos.
Online lecture videos. What do you mean by comfortable environment?
Like approachable classmates and an approachable professor.
Approachable, that helps, right? You can trust those people around you to have your best interests, right? People around you, you feel respected and valued. Those are big deal for me, and you'll see that come out over the next couple weeks, okay? I work really hard to make this a safe place for you. I'm going to be pushing you to your limits, mentally, emotionally, right? Like, physics is hard, and I want you to feel safe in here, even if you can't feel safe somewhere else, right? So I'm going to work hard at that, and you're going to let me know how good of a job I do. So I heard online lecture videos. We'll talk more about that on Thursday, okay? Because you're going to have access to a bunch of resources that I'm going to give you, right? What else has helped you? The flashing light is not helpful. What the heck is going on? When in doubt, reboot. Nope. It doesn't even respond to anything. Okay, well, I'm sorry it's bothering you. All right. Anything else that you've seen a teacher do that's been amazing?
Being accommodating in like different ways of learning and teaching
Uh-huh.
things in more than one way.
Yeah, being able to learn in multiple ways, right? Yeah. Patient in answering questions. Responsive. It's interesting, you guys are going for a lot of the high level kinds of things. No specific thing that a teacher, I'm desperate, I need ways to teach, right? My scores are low, no, my scores are low.
One thing my anthropology teacher did is he gave us leeway on homework.
Uh-huh.
He would like let us, he would give the homework and then he would give us the entire, like not the entire semester, but good
Right.
time to do it.
Time to do it? Right, I'm sorry. Retakes on tests? Okay, don't give retakes on tests, but we do something, and I'm going to tell you what I call it, and you promise not to drop, right? Okay? It's called the test autopsy. It happens after the exam, and it's your chance
Test correction.
to fix it. We got to find out the cause of failure, and we're going to find out. So, sword up. You'll see. All right, what? We're 24 minutes in and we haven't even gotten past the third slide, right? Why did I need to know that information? Can I help you? How do I know how to communicate with you if I don't know where you're coming from, right? Or where you're at, or any of that kind of stuff? Some of us are going to spend the next 10 months together, right? Okay? Because you'll go on into physics 4C or whatever, right? And you'll have me again. It's important. This is really important. So, for the next 4.5 minutes, you get to ask me any question you want. It can be from this list or any question you want, and I will answer truthfully. Go.
What does your wife do for a profession?
My wife's profession is homemaker. That was her choice. She was professionally trained as an elementary music education specialist, so basically a music teacher for K through 6. She plays flute, she plays organ, she plays piano. But she chose to dedicate her life to our family and our children. So she maintains the house and basically makes it so I could be here. Looking stand for her, right? Without her, this wouldn't be possible.
Better take her to that place, that restaurant.
Yeah. I owe her everything.
What got you into physics?
I went into college thinking I wanted to be a sociology major. I like people. In the general idea of people. I am very shy, believe it or not. Interactions one-on-one tend to make me very nervous and anxious. But I wanted to I thought when people are interesting, I like watching people, they do stupid things, it's kind of fun, right? And so I went and said, 1 week into sociology, I was like, this is not for me. Like, this is weird, right? They lie with math, free will, it was weird, okay? And so I kind of wandered around and I went to the direction where I heard the most screaming and explosions, and it happened to be the physics and engineering building. Thought I wanted to be an engineer. Put stuff together, always worked well with my hands, that kind of stuff. But I was a really annoying engineering student because I kept asking why. Why does it do? Why? And finally the engineering teachers are like, well, you just go talk to the physicist because we think you're a physicist. So I went to talk to the physicist. I'm like, yeah, this, right here. That's what I want to do. Yeah.
What music do you listen to?
So in our family over the pandemic, we've always liked like musical theater, musicals, that kind of stuff. But over the pandemic, being forced to interact with each other, I and my daughter picked up first ukulele, and then we started singing together. My daughter's a good singer. So now almost every night, my wife accompanies us, and my daughter and I, we sing duets and do all kinds of stuff. So mostly musicals, MDT kind of stuff, Disney flicks and things like that. But I generally, I do a lot more listening to podcasts now than I do listening to music.
What podcast?
A lot of science podcasts. Wait, Don't Tell Me is always something that I listen to every week because I just think it's absolutely hilarious. It's like crowd science from the BBC is really fun. So, yeah.
What's the origin of the universe? Go.
Origin of the universe. It started in a computer simulation and it just went from there. No. Now we'll get to that in Physics 4C. It did not start with a bang. It started with an expansion, which is why I feel comfortable about my expanding wavelength. I'm just trying to fill the universe.
So, an important quote from Albert Einstein.
Albert Einstein, important quote. Never forget in the midst of your, I'm paraphrasing just slightly. Never forget in the midst of your equations that the purpose of your science is to benefit mankind. He said that in 1932. He was visiting Caltech here in California, and he was beginning to get worried about what was going on in his home country of Germany. Yeah.
What did you think of the movie Oppenheimer?
Never saw it. I was told by many people who know me well to not go and see it. I get angry when science is not represented correctly.
Is there a physical phenomenon that you yourself can explain?
That I can't explain?
Or one that you find interesting?
Oh, wow, I've never had this question. There's so many to pick from.
Mind's blown.
Yeah, brain.exe has stopped working. Name like a part of the universe or a subject or something. Help me narrow it down.
Let's start with, astronomy.
Okay, astronomy?
Yeah.
What the heck is going on with the James Webb Telescope data? Like, seriously, they are finding galaxies that existed right at the beginning of the universe that, quote unquote, should not be the size and shape that they are. We don't understand something, and that's awesome. That's exciting. The thing you need to understand, the reason my brain just melted, science is all about expanding our sort of knowledge and our understanding of truth. And think of it like a bubble. Think of it like a balloon, right, as it expands. The surface area of that balloon is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So the stuff we know is inside, and the stuff we don't know is outside. And as we learn more, we come into contact with even more that we don't know. It's like the best kind of job insurance ever. Right? Because, yeah, don't ever make the mistake of thinking that you know something. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Is there extra credit opportunities and also?
Oh, we'll talk about that later.
What is
We're talking about me now, the most important thing in the room.
What's your best advice for being successful in your class?
Oh, we'll talk about that too. Literally work with each other. You need each other. It's the way I made it here.
Origins of Flight Simulator.
Origins of Flight Simulator? You want me to go in the history of it?
No, like how'd you get into the game?
Do you know what an Apple II Plus is?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay? Apple II Plus was a computer that ran at 1 megahertz in the okay? Way back in the dawn of the computer age. And they had, on that computer, they had a flight simulator that was like literally a line that just kind of tilted, right? And then 2 lines was the runway. And I was hooked. And ever since, I have owned every version of Microsoft, not just Microsoft, but every flight simulator I've ever did. And I flew as a teenager. A friend's dad had a plane, and he taught me how to fly, and I never got my license. I always did, and I thought I was going to go in the Air Force. And I love flight. I just love planes and flight.
Why not go back and do it?
I am a community college teacher, and single income family, and yeah, no. Right? Planes are. All right. Since I'm an English teacher, I think I've killed enough time now. Right? Let's see. Oh yeah. No, we did all this, right? Okay. I'm worried that a lot of people see me like this. Right? And then most of you see me like this. Right? Okay. But yeah. So again, I think it's important that you understand where I'm coming from. Jeez, these lights. Not doing it today, are they? Right? All right. So we did all that. This is how I picture myself. You guys know who this is? Doctor Who.
Which one's your favorite doctor?
David Tennant. Yeah, by a long shot, he's my favorite doctor. My favorite story arc. Yes. Okay. So it's funny, right? I like the actor David Tennant portraying the Doctor better, but Matt Smith's storyline with Amy and Rory and if you have not experienced Doctor Who, start at the 2005 Doctor Who and just start watching. Yeah, well, it's on Disney Plus now, I think, too. And anyway, the Newty Gatwa's Doctor's okay. They're doing it's okay. Good stuff. This series displaced both Star Wars and Star Trek as my favorite science fiction of all time. And I have nerd credentials. I know what I'm talking about. Okay, we need to do the ritualistic butchering of the names. So let's doing that. Yeah, reminders. Okay, really fast. Like I said, the biggest buzzkill is having me tell you about something you can go and read. We used to hand these out on paper, and now you can ignore it online just as well as you can ignore it on paper, right? Okay? No, seriously, read the syllabus, go through it. It has all the information about the class, and you'll be better prepared for what's going to happen Thursday if you know it's on the syllabus. We do use Canvas a lot. We have an online homework system that you have to pay money for. It's the only way you can turn in your homework. Talk to me if that's an issue. Do not go to wileyplus.com. That's the name of the thing, okay? Always access it through Canvas. That way it links up to the course correctly and all that kind of stuff, okay? I will explain a lot more about this on Thursday. Again, we've got lots of time to be able to do it there. But I encourage you, get on there, start clicking stuff, like get to a homework assignment, get to the book, all that kind of stuff. It will pop up and say, you must pay. There's a small button somewhere on the screen, it's usually in the upper right, that says grace period or 14-day trial. Okay, click it, you're in. You'll have access to everything for the next 2 weeks. Okay, so you can kind of get started right away, right? Get a feel for it, all that sort of stuff. So again, I'll talk a lot more about this on Thursday, give you some ins and outs and things like that. You know how to work technology better than I do. Probably a lie. I've been in technology for a long time. But get in there. You don't need me holding your hand to get in there and click on stuff. You know how to do that, right? And you'll be lost, and it'll be great. You'll have questions to ask, right, on Thursday. But just so you know, you are required. And it gives the amounts that they're quoting you gets you access to everything. There's different choices we'll talk about on Thursday, but you get access to like Student Solutions, all the stuff, right? So it's what we do. You're going to hear a lot about this. Friday. Friday is what I call the optional required day of this course. Okay? I wish that I could put it on the schedule and just, make sure that you knew that you should be coming on Friday. On Fridays, what happens is we turn S280, which is down the hall, we turn it into basically the tutoring center. We get the tutors that are over in the tutorial center, they come over here so you don't have to compete with them, right? Because a physics and engineering tutor reverts to a math tutor if they've got nothing else to do, right? We bring them over here. I hold my office hour in that location. Other physics teachers are there holding their office hours. It's the place where you can come and get help. Whatever help you need, okay? You talk to me privately about something, we'll leave and take a walk around campus. That's my office hour, that's where you get all the help, all that kind of stuff. So I will preach this over and over again. It's really, really important. I know that Friday is a great work day for some of you. I get there at 7 o'clock in the morning, so that at least you have a half hour or something to get some questions answered or whatever, right? So grasp. It's really, so good. So good. This is how people pass, okay? Do you have to be here? That's a double-edged question. I mean, you're adult. You're paying to be here, right? Okay? You don't technically need to be here. There will never be a grade that's like, this seat is empty, points off. Okay? Do you need to be here? Yeah. People that have tried to fly solo, crash and burn. Okay? This is something I work really hard to make the time that we're together golden. Do not call me at 1 o'clock in the morning, the day that the homework is due, about a homework problem, right? Because I will kill you, right? I'm asleep, right? Okay? When we're together, we need to be working on stuff that I know is going to cause problems, right? I've been through it. I know where all the problems are, right? I know the things that you're going to struggle with. And I want to be there to help you while we're doing it. So being here. Just because I record my lectures and throw them up on YouTube, they're not backups for being here. we'll talk more about that on Thursday, how I kind of designed those recordings. So, yeah, I'm required by state law to take the attendance for the first 3 weeks, but after that I stop taking attendance. Now, if you disappear, I'm going to try to come find you. I get worried about you when you just disappear, right? So if you got to go somewhere or do something, something's happening, just shoot me a line so I'm not so worried when I don't see you, right? But, you know, I'm not going to, if you're communicating with me, I'm not going to drop you, right? If you just disappear and it's before the drop deadline, I probably won't drop you either. That's on you. Like, you are in charge of a lot of that, right? So, yeah, you got to be here, but you don't have to be here. But you got to be here. Oh, boy. Where's the day off? I mean, try to find one. Okay? This is maybe an ideal or a template or something like that, right? Okay? But if there's one thing I'm trying to communicate with this slide, what do you think it is? You're going to work hard. You're going to work really hard. You are going to, I mean, how many of you have had chemistry or biology already? Yeah, most of you. Okay, so you kind of know a little bit about what I'm about to talk about. STEM fields. What does STEM mean? Science, technology, engineering, mathematics. Mathematics, not so much. Physics, chemistry, biology, engineering. We ask a lot. In English class, they basically ask you to kind of write, right? And read. Some critical thinking, but mostly it's along the lines of, as long as you're thinking the same way as the English teacher, you'll get an A. In physics, chemistry, biology, engineering, we ask you to read. We ask you to write. We ask you to problem solve and do puzzles, and then we ask you to do math about all of that. It's rough. And so time is what you need. What you don't need is procrastination the day before it's due and then hope that you can learn something in a 10-hour thing, right? That doesn't work. Your brain needs time for this stuff. Exposure, and then what I call pillow time, where it's just sort of working in the background, right? The subroutines are all crunching on stuff, and then you come back to it, and you try it again, and you try it again, and you try, and you're gonna fail over and over and over and over and over again, because that's what science is. It's failing enough so that you can figure out how not to fail. Okay? 98% of what I did in graduate school never worked. And the 2% is now orbiting the planet. So you, if you haven't already, need to let go of being perfect. Where do you need to be perfect? In this class. Exams, right? That's your chance, right? To show me. But where can you make mistakes? Everywhere else. Homework, yeah, of course you want to get 100% at the end. But the first time you try the homework, are you going to get 100%? There's no way. And you're going to try, 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 and you're going to help each other, and you're going to fail with each other. It's going to be awesome. We have 4 exams in this class. Okay? And I put the word comprehensive in parentheses. I do not go out of my way, say on the unit 3, which is chapters 9, 10, 11, or something like that. I don't go out of my way to put like a chapter 3 problem on that exam. But physics is like a ladder. You cannot start climbing the ladder up there. You have to go through in order. So the stuff we learned in chapters 1, 2, and 3, do we use it in chapter 4? Yes. It builds on itself. This is not a class where you can skip a chapter and be okay. It's a marathon. It is not a sprint. And you have to hit every stride. It's crazy, right? And you'll have things that'll go on in your life and situations where you're just like, and we have to just, I don't know, drag you along behind the bus or something, because if you fall off recovery is really, really hard. So keep that in mind, right, as you're structuring your schedules and all that kind of stuff. Does anybody know what size piece of paper that is? Standard 8.5 by 11 for those of you that are still speaking imperial units. We kicked out King George. Why are you still using imperial units?
That's what I say.
Damn! Threw out the T. We should have thrown out the unit system. All right. Scariest number on the screen. 70%, Mr. Bear? Are you kidding me? No. But what is the most important percentage on the screen? Homework. That little piddly 15%. If you own the homework, like if you understand, if you do that blood, sweat, and tears and that process of iterative failures until you stop making mistakes, how do you learn to ride a bike? You fall a lot, right? Somebody's running along, holding the seat, you got the training wheels, right? We start there, but I'm going to rip the training wheels off. I'm never going to push you up the way, okay? But eventually, you just learn by falling off enough to know that falling off is bad. That's what you're doing here, okay? And so you're going to fail over and over again on the homework, because that's where it's all going to happen. And then if you understand the problems on homework, how to do them, why to do them the way that you did, you're going to waltz into that exam and you're going to get a C, B, or an A on it. Like, I write the exam to be like equivalent to the middle difficulty problem on the homework, right? I try to over prepare you on the homework. Make the homework harder than what you're going to encounter on the exam. Figure out the homework. We got this. So it's the 15% homework that really informs the 70% exam. Okay? On Thursday, we're going to talk about how the class is structured and what I've done in the grading scale to buffer you. See, the thing that you don't believe me, and I don't blame you for not believing me or trusting me yet, is that I am on your side. It is you and me versus physics. It's not me and physics versus you. So you're going to see, I'm going to show you the calculations about what you need to do on all areas of this course to get an A, B, or C in this class. I will tell you right off the bat, A is hard. C, totally possible. B, very typical. Okay? So you'll more on that on Thursday. And of course in the syllabus if you want to go read there before Thursday. I don't accept late homework. It's because the keys to the homework just get posted as soon as it's due. Okay? I dropped the 2 lowest homework scores. That's 2 weeks of homework of drop scores. Now, does that mean you can skip 2 weeks? Absolutely not, because of what I just said, right? But know that I dropped your 2 lowest assignments. I do not drop an exam, okay? Everything counts, right? And does somebody want to summarize very succinctly, or maybe in one sentence, what my late policy is for exam? Don't miss exam, is what that late policy says, okay? Now, there will be situations where you're going to have to miss. For whatever reason, you've got to communicate with me, right? Before the exam. Talk to me about it. Sports team is going to be out of town. Horrible things going on, whatever. Communicate with me, because I can, believe it or not, I made the policy, I can break it, right? Okay? And we can work something out. If I feel like you've got a legitimate situation where you need some help and some flexibility, I will get you a makeup exam that is harder than the normal exam, but I won't apply the 33% day per day, right? You come to me 2 days after the exam, hey, Mr. Bill, this will take it. It's like, okay, you're going to get a maximum of 33%, and that would be a perfect score, right? This is to make sure that you are taking the exam on the day that the exam is offered. And those dates are already up on Canvas. They're on my schedule calendar. I'll show you that on Thursday, so you know exactly when they are. So if you or somebody else is getting married this semester, you know ahead of time. Let me know. We can work around it, right? So, yes. A lot of people have people getting married. It's amazing. All right. Technology in this class. Okay? I love technology. I do. It's fantastic, right? Let's use it. Okay? I encourage you to bring your tablets, your laptops, your phones, whatever, to class. Okay? It's got the book on it and all the information, the entire, I was about to say collective wisdom. There's no wisdom in humanity. Knowledge of humanity is available in these little tiny boxes. It's fantastic, right? So we're probably going to use it. We'll Google stuff, all that kind of stuff, right? Okay? Please, please, if you're bringing technology into this room and we're together, use the technology for what we're doing. Don't let it distract you. Put it into a focus mode. Turn off all those red bubbles. Be present. Because you're not just distracting yourself, you're distracting the people around you too. Right? So, you are authorized. You, each of you, individually, collectively, police each other. If somebody's doing something on their device that's distracting to you and they're not doing physics, just let them know, right? Have them show, hey, you're distracting me because you're not doing physics, right? There's an entire universe on the other side of those doors where you can go look at YouTubes and Snapograms, whatever it is you're doing, okay? In here, we're doing physics. We're gonna leverage all this technology to help us. ChatGPT is not going to help us. I keep asking it, and it's wrong. It doesn't know physics. Use it for English class, okay? You're welcome to eat in here. Please don't make a mess. But if you're sitting there and you're crunching loudly, I'm gonna slap you. I want you, we mentioned approachable. I want you to be able to come up and feel like you can ask me a question anytime. Please, just ask questions. Ask, okay? If you come up to me before or after class and say, hey, Mr. Balogh, can I get some help on the homework? The answer's going to be no. Okay? It might look like I am up here goofing off. Talking to somebody about a video game or a movie, right? Then you're like, oh, he's just not talking about that. I can go up and ask him a homework question. What I am doing is I am overcoming my anxiety and stress of having to stand in front of a bunch of really great, you look good today, a bunch of great looking people who expect me to know what I'm doing. You know that feeling you get when it's exam day and you got like 2 or 3 exams to do that, and it seems like your teachers are all out to get you because they've all scheduled them on exactly the same day? I experience that every day. That anxiety. So I am up here, like especially like after 4A and before my next class, which happens right in here, the 4B students are going to be coming in. I am having to reset and recalibrate because I got to switch from mechanics, which is what you guys are studying, into electromagnetism, which is what they're studying. And I just need like that 10-15 minutes of psychological clearing of the air. Please come up and ask me questions, just not homework questions, right? Because a homework question really deserves more than a 30-second answer. Okay? Homework questions, email me, especially, we'll talk about it on Thursday, but when the website is disagreeing, you know you got the right answer, they're saying you're wrong. It's hard to do math via email. I mean, Grasp is really the best way, and each other is the best way. Form a class Discord. I don't do this, I don't structure this, because as soon as Mr. Balogh enters the chat, everybody shuts up. Okay? I want you to be communicating with each other, so do so, right? Help each other out. Ask me questions. The tutors are available 5 days a week. We've got Grasp. It's just that in between, before and after class is not a great time because usually my tech is melting down or I'm trying to get my brain in the right spot. Okay? All right. But if you come up to me and ask a question, I push you away or say, okay, let's do that later. I'm serious. Let's do it later. I might ask you to email me to remind me. I'm terrible at remembering things, right? I want you to communicate with me. It's just sometimes there's just a better time and place for that particular kind of question, and so on and so forth. I'm sorry, I've been talking at you. I told you I wouldn't talk at you. I'm such a terrible teacher. Okay. What's physics? understanding everything? Okay, there is no understanding politics. I'm sorry. It's just, it can't happen, right? Okay? But if I can poke it with a stick and see what happens, it's probably physics. Okay? That's a metaphorical stick. I mean, sometimes I go around with sticks and poke things just to see what happens. But what do I mean? We, in physics, have the hubris, the audacity, the pride to think that we can understand what the universe is doing. And we can do some really, really powerful things with the things we think we understand, and even the things we don't understand. It's really exciting. But in physics, we try to answer why. Now, this is from the far side. It's a great comic strip from many years ago. I guess it's still kind of happening. Anyway, how do you know these two people are scientists? They're old white men. We're trying to fix that. We really are. I mean, look around this class. You are amazing. You're going to change all of this. That is great. They're wearing lab coats. So, yeah, that kind of tips it. They're standing in front of a board with a bunch of math on it. What does all the math equal? There's parts of quantum mechanics where you do that. You do pages and pages only to find out it all equals 0. But anyway, you probably can't read it there in the back, so I'll read it for you. No doubt about it, Ellington. We've mathematically expressed the purpose of the universe. God, how I love the thrill of scientific discovery. There are going to be days in here where there's going to be so much math on the screen, and your brain is a puddle on the desk, and you're going, why is this fun? Why is this important? It is. It just may not be to you. You mechanical engineers, do you need to know physics? Yes, because that's what you do. Day in and day out of mechanical engineering, right? Civil engineer, you need to know physics. You better if you're going to build me a bridge or a building, okay? I don't want that thing falling down. I want you to understand the forces, okay? You medical students, do you need to know physics? Pens. Well, if you're going to, what's the doctor that is basically hammers on your bones all the time? Orthopedic surgeon? Kinda. They're mostly just carpenters. I've had orthopedic surgeons tell me that. But like if you're going into oncology, you probably don't need to know a lot of physics. Okay? You need to know a lot of medicine and treatment and all that kind of stuff. But what's more important than any of that, whether you think it applies to you or not, the thing you need to learn is problem solving. Because science is all about problem solving. You might know it as a scientific method and do a hypothesis, right? It's not how it works. Okay? It's about problem solving. It's about having an approach to anything you don't know or you can't figure out, and overcoming that urge to run home and jump in your bed and throw the covers over your head and hide. That's what you want to do. But as scientists, we go, all right, let's figure it out. And then we try, and we try, and we try. This is what we're going to do together. It's Physics 4A is really kind of all about how and why things move. We'll spend a little bit of time in the how, and then we're going to spend the rest of the semester in the why. What gets things moving, and how do we express that? We're going to be talking about rocketry and gravitation and planetary orbits. We're going to talk about penguins sliding down glaciers. We're going to talk friction, energy. It's a lot to get. And basically what we're trying to do is give you some toolboxes, some ways that we as humans have come to understand and conceptualize, why things like that happen. Why did it go up? Why did it go down? What's bad's going on? We got to try and figure it out. And you're going to be really annoyed because we're going to spend a lot of time in here going, we're going to ignore friction. We're gonna ignore that thing. You're like, well, you're ignoring the universe. Well, yeah, because if we did the real deal, nobody would be an engineer. Can you imagine if I dumped all of telling you the absolute truth, I'm gonna lie to you a lot. Okay? But there's never gonna be a lie that matters. Right? Like, Mr. Balogh, am I doing okay in this class? I will tell you the truth. Okay? But I will lie a lot when it comes to, friction doesn't matter. Okay? It will. But if we start with friction in all of our problems, guess what? You need differential equations to do most of it. How many of you have had diffie-Qs? Yes, okay? No panicking, you don't need to know differential equations. But we want to start simple and build, right? And so it's going to feel very kind of detached at first, like none of this is real. It'll get real faster than you really want it to. I want to show you, if I can, a quick clip before we go. I used to have this one all set and ready to go, but I forgot to pull it up this morning.
At Mint Mobile,
We'll let the ad play while I get this.
we like to do the opposite of what Big Wireless does. They charge you a lot,
Hi, Ryan Reynolds.
we
Yeah.
charge you a little.
Land the rocket. How did SpaceX learn how to land a rocket? By learning every way how not to. Welcome to physics. I'll see you on Wednesday. Read chapter 1 and get ready for unit conversions and stuff you probably already know how to do.